Um, we're having an engineering class. All are welcome. I don't know what the heck I did with my glasses. Oh, the thing is right here. God, thank you. God is so good, man. No, I thought I lost my little thing right here. Okay, so first of all, this will be part one of the engineering class right here because obviously my thing came out of place. Is it a manufacturing issue? Oh, I thought it was broken. This still slides in. I think the concept was good, but their quality control department was not up to par. Okay, I have a tool that I can use. I can just position this in place. It does have a spacer. Maybe if I remove it. Okay, for right now, let me leave it in place because it's there for a reason. This is exactly how you would do motherboard level repair. Okay, this appears to be a washer of some sort. Okay, we have it positioned. Okay, perfect. Let's see if we can adjust this. Yes. Yes. Oh man, thank you, Heavenly Father. It's not perfect. It will hold. I just have to be extra duper careful. There's a kit that you could buy for a good price. Okay. All right. So let's try this again. Let's see if we can adjust this. So there was another vehicle. Actually, there's a few that we're going to add to the simulator, right? And for sure, it's going to be F40. But the thing with F40 is if we do F40, we got to do 959. So let's go F40, Wikipedia, enter. Put this back in here. I don't know if that's the right pocket, but that's fine. Okay, so let's go Ferrari F40 on the simulator. And we have to do a quick comparison. Click on this. Jesus Christ. Okay. Now we got to do Porsche 959. And we want to go twin turbo S2 just because I did a theory on it earlier. And I think it will be safe to put it as a jump, but just as an example. Now, let's go 97 twin turbo S. 911. twin turbo S wiki. Just so we can have a baseline, because we're looking for the golden ratios, just so that we can have it in our data flows, right? Okay. So let's go. First of all, let's see what generation is that. 993 to 98 air cooled. Last one. You see, there's just no better silhouette than this, man. This is a sports car. This is no other way to put it. And I just said, if I can get one of these, build my car out of it, mission accomplished. Okay, I got some base models here to make a comparison. I could put this on the computer-aided design, and this could be in the test for you guys. Yep. This will give me plenty of dimensions, which is what we need. We'll use it as a comparison. We'll consider spider top versions, see if we could just build around it by re-strengthening the chassis, just as an example. But we'll look at Copart as well. We also have to divulge into the Toyota powertrain, which is what we're going to do today. And we can't go full blast because I know we'll have opportunity to start a baseline, and then I'm going to have to step out to go eat. And then we can come back hard body. Just as an example. You know, there were entrepreneurs where I lived growing up that had these. And I used to ask myself, I used to wonder, why would they make that choice? Because obviously they could own whatever. You know, stuff like that. And you can tell that was a connoisseur of performance cars because they knew that they could afford anything else, but it wouldn't be the same. I remember the simulators with the GT2s. This was incredible right here, my man. And then by default, you have to compare 959 to Twin Turbo S. It's mandatory. In the future, I'll be able to share a split screen with you guys. And by doing so, you guys will be able to see everything that I program. As a matter of fact, let's do some research on how it could be done, maybe using a USB cable. I don't even know if that's possible. My God, look at this spider right here. Look at this tonneau cover for the rear passengers. Takes the car to another place. Definitely does. This is even a turbo cabriolet. I didn't know that they made this model in a turbo cabriolet. Let me re-download this excellent silver example, because this way we'll put it on the rig. Let's X out of here. So we have some new contenders. There's another car, I can't remember off the top of my head, but we'll double check. So you have 959, which is similar to Ford GT and Lamborghini Miura, right? So why don't we go with what's closest? Let's go, first of all, the king of the hill, the true car of the future, the Porsche 959. Before we go into specifics, let's go into dimensions. 89.4 inches places it smaller. 959 is smaller than Ford GT. And I guess we should leave it in the simulator as is, because this way there's no doubts. And I know it's harder, but this is what makes you guys the best. You guys are my students. Okay, so 96.5 for the F40 puts it at 1.5 inches in front of GT40. Followed by 993, which, let's get the dimensions, is 89.5, still comes in closer than GT40. We got something here. Is the GT40 a clone or a different type of clone? 959 is 89.4. 993 is 89.45. So they're within 0.05 of an inch. So 959 is 2,272 millimeters versus, oh, you know what? The computer doesn't even account for that. Okay, let's go by length then. Length is 167.7, 167.7, same frame. It's the same frame, y'all. Height, 94 to 95. No, we need 96 to 98. 51.8. Height is 50.4. GT40 is 40.5. So if we went by wheelbase, then that changes the dynamic of the design. The height we can modify. So let's go by wheelbase and length. So 160 for GT40. 993 is 167. And the same 167. So 160 plus GT40 as a longer design. Let me see. With a longer wheelbase. Length is 160. Length is 167. 167. Ferrari F40. 171. 167.3 for the 355. So 993 is 167.7. 167.3. Nope, 355 is smaller in length. 167.3. And this is 167.7. Yeah, we got to go wheelbase length. Height can be adjusted. Okay. So let's continue. Length 167.7, 171.6, 178.5 for the 911 992. Well, no, 992. Is this 992? Hold up. Oh, this is the new one. No, this shouldn't count because this is 18 to present. No, can I use these dimensions? So how do we get these? No, can I use this generation? Why did I have this? Oh, you know what? I may have had this just as a comparison. Let's leave it in there. You guys are right. Let's go dimensions. So this is a 992. This is the new one. That's what I wanted to see was the evolution. That's fine. Okay, so 178.5, Ferrari F40, 171.6, 178.5 for 992. Let's go Miura, 171.7. So it puts me closer to Ferrari F40. 171.6, 171.7 for Miura. Ooh, okay. So again, Ferrari is retaking the claim right here. That's what F40 was really about. It was a personal thing. Okay. So 177.9 for 992. Honda NSX first generation, 173.4. This is 177. No, Honda NSX. Lamborghini Miura, 171. NSX is 173. We're going to have to go with 174.2 because that's the higher number. And then we can make up the difference in variables in the wind tunnel. So 174.2, 171.7, 174 3.2. That doesn't count. Has to be 174.2. So 178.5, highest number. Fourth generation Camaro, length 193.5 is the highest number, so it cannot be here. Honda NSX second generation, 176 even, 178 for the 911, 174.2, so 176 places it below 178.5, 176, 173, hold on. So 178.5 with the Camaro coming in at 193.5. Nope, way up there. So let's keep going. Ferrari F80, length 190. Okay, so Camaro is at what? 193.5. Let's see, 7th gen Corvette, 176.9 versus 190. Nope. Versus 190. Nope. Corvette wins. Okay, Corvette is 176.5. Porsche is 178. No, back here. NSX is 176 for the second generation. So 176.5. No, 176.9. Second gen NSX 176.8. And then 176.9. Diablo, it's the same size, yo. That was the target then. That tells you right there the Corvette was the target. Okay, so 178.5 for the 992 911. 178.5. Yep, 178.5. 193.5. The Ferrari comes in at 190. So that's the jump. F80 is the jump. So let's continue. A12 Superfast is 183. SF90, nope. 4GT is 187. Ferrari F80 is 190. So 187.5, 190, and 183.3 for A12 Superfast. So 187.5 for GT. So again, Ferrari F80, no, A12 Superfast coming in smaller than the Ford GT, so that was the target. Okay, 187.5, 183.3 for A12 Superfast. Okay, so 187.5, 190 F80, 187.8 for 7th gen Accord. Nope, has to be in here. So let's go with that again. Length. Cool. Nope, we gotta go 185 or 191. We gotta go 191.1. Yep, 191.1 because there's no reason to use the coupe. We don't need the coupe. Coupe is too small for this design. So 191, put in F80. No, 191. So 191.1 right above F80, which is 190. 190.6, so 191.1 for the 7th gen Accord. And then we have HSV GT 010 GT, which is 110 if I'm not mistaken, but let's double check. It gives us the length as 184, and we know Ferrari F80 is 190. So it's going to go head to head with Ford GT, 187.5. Smaller than Ford GT. 812 Superfast, 183.3. And HSV is 184.1. So 183.3 with 812 Superfast, 184.1. Ford GT, 187.5. Ferrari F80, 190.6. Honda Accord 7th Gen, 191.1 from 190.6. Very close. That's the best chassis so far. Okay. Same thing. Let's go length. 195.7. 195.7 for that's the 11th gen. 195.7. Let's go back to Super GT. Let me see if I have actual specs, because if I'm not mistaken, I have the NSX already. Oh, I see. See, you got to start with the versions, performance upgrades, NSX-T. It's like you got to do the whole NSX. Got to go with the variants. So this was the wild card on the simulator. Are there any other vehicles that we can make the comparison to? Okay. So for today, in our simulator, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We have 18 vehicles. Very quickly, between the 7th gen, 191.1, and 195.7 is 4.6 inches, which is not bad. The width is different, but we're not going to calculate that for today. So where would be a good starting point? Let's break this down. So we know what chassis we have, right? We know all of the powertrains that the chassis has. If we don't go to the NSX prototype, then we won't have a north. We need like a guide. So because this is the benchmark, let's put it at the beginning so that we know we can replace it with anything else. So anything we put on the simulator could go on this as a benchmark. And then 1 quick second, let's everybody hydrate. Everybody take a quick break. Okay. So here we go. Honda NSX first generation. Put everything on engineering, and let's rock and roll. The first generation Honda NSX, new sports car experimental, marketed in North America and Hong Kong as the Acura NSX, is a 2-seater mid-engine sports car. Oh, one thing before we start, and good thing, this is going to sound much better. My mistake, big time, my mistake. Now we're talking. My bad. Because I forgot this is going to go on the podcast. So for the people in the radio show, That's why you guys are seeing the difference in sound. But it's okay. We're going to work with it. It's already starting to cool down, as you can see. So let's start from the beginning. And we'll do a whole breakdown of what we have in the simulator. Okay. So here we go. The first generation Honda NSX, new sports car experimental, marketed in North America and Hong Kong as the Acura NSX, is a two-seater mid-engine sports car that was manufactured by Honda in Japan from 1990 until 2005. Development. Around 1984, Honda engineers began experimenting with different engine and chassis layouts to test viability for future products. One of the test mules was a Honda City that had been cut in half, with the engine installed behind the driver's seat and powering the rear wheels. Although the project was not developed any further, many of the engineers were inspired by the exciting laps around the company parking lot in the mid-engine city. This experience, in part, convinced Honda leadership that the company should consider developing a pure sports car. As a result, in 1984, Honda commissioned the Italian car styling house Pininfarina to design the concept car, HPX, Honda Pininfarina Experimental, which had a C20A 2.0-liter V6 engine in a mid-mounted configuration. After Honda committed to a sports car project, the company management informed the engineers working on the project that the new car would have to be as fast as anything coming from Italy and Germany. The HPX concept car evolved into a prototype known as NSX, which stood for New Sports Car Experimental. The prototype and eventual production model, which was marketed as the NSX, were designed by a team led by Honda chief designer Masahito Nakano and executive chief engineer Shigeru Uehara, who were subsequently placed in charge of the S2000 project. The original performance target for Honda's new sports car was the Ferrari 328 and later the 348. As the design neared completion, Honda intended its sports car to meet or exceed the performance of the Ferrari, while offering superior reliability and a lower price. For this reason, the 2.0-liter V6 engine utilized in the HPX was shelved and ultimately replaced with a significantly more powerful 3-liter VTEC V6 engine. So take note of that, because we know what they use for the prototypes, and this is what we're waiting for, the discovery. Over the course of development of the NSX, many engines were used, ranging from the 2.7-liter single overhead camshaft V6 engine from the Honda Legend, Honda Coupe, to the 3-liter single overhead camshaft V6 engine used subsequently in 15 test mules. So the original car is a 2-liter V6, which is supposed to be an allude to the 4-cylinder design of 2 liters. By adding 2 extra pistons, you get a different dynamic out of the same amount of cylinders, right? Same amount of liters. So they go as far as using the 3-liter VTEC engine, which is still single overhead cam, but they started with the 2.7-liter engine, which is a C-series engine from the Legend and the Honda Coupe. The single overhead camshaft, is the J-series, used subsequently in 15 test mules. So I'm not going to compare the 2-liter to the, even the 2.7, which there is a J-series that is 2.7 liters, and I'll show it to you guys in a second, which is already in your charts. But the 3-liter is really where they started breaking down. 3 liters, 3.2, 3.5, 3.7, 3.9. Now we're talking. So 15 test mules, I'm going to say that the NSX was designed for the J series. 15 versus 1, maybe 2, no comparison. Continuing. Honda eventually settled on a non-VTEC 3.0 liter dual overhead camshaft 24-valve V6 engine selected for the production model, meaning the road car, not the prototype. This engine generated a maximum power output of about 250 horsepower. So understand this. Anything above 200 miles per hour is a race car. The NSX was geared to be the perfect balance right above that for the streets. You don't need 1,000 horsepower in an NSX. But if you get it, it's another car. It's just not an NSX. It's just something crazy. 186 kilowatts, 253 PS. So if you notice, most J series, they start at around that power range. Matter of fact, when we finish this board, we can pull up the J series. And 282 Newton meters of torque, 208 pound-feet of torque, with a red line of 7,300 RPM. However, at the same time, Honda was working on its revolutionary VTEC variable valve timing system, with plans to increase it, release it on the company's home market 4-cylinder Integra. Honda's then president, Tadashi Kume, himself a highly skilled and respected engine designer, questioned the NSX's designers' logic in foregoing the VTEC system for Honda's new flagship sports car, while it was being used on the lower market Integra. As a result, the engine was designed in late. Mute this out. Okay, let's see what this has done to the battery. Okay, now we can unplug this. I had to test the battery. Sorry about that. Let's pick that back up. As a result, the engine was redesigned very late in the development process to achieve the desired levels of performance and durability. Honda designed the new cylinder block with 6-bolt main caps and larger cylinder heads to contain the complex VTEC mechanism. Innovative connecting rods made from a titanium alloy were used to lower reciprocating weight while increasing overall rod strength, something which increased the engine's maximum RPM by 700, resulting in a final red line of 8,000 RPM. A consequence of this last-minute engine change was that the new C30A engine was too large to fit in the NSX's bay, which had been carefully sized for smaller heads of the non-VTEC dual overhead cam 3.0 liter engine. As a result, the engineers were forced to tilt the entire engine backwards approximately 5 degrees, a characteristic that continued all the way to the NSX final production in 2005. So one of the reasons why the engine bay is so beautiful is because the engine is tilted 5 degrees. Now, you know that the C30A and the C32 block from the NSX are 90-degree V6s, where the J series is 60 degrees. So not only does it fit, it fits perfectly and with extra room. And of course, that's why you have highly modified NSXs with K series motors, because it fits even better and it's going to give it an even better handling, because now the engine bay becomes a vortex where all the air just kind of flows through the engine bay. Let's continue. One second. Espérate, mami, dame un segundito. Oh, ok. Pero espérate, sal afuera donde. People, technology, man, it's there for a reason. Give me one quick second. We may have to take a quick pause, but we'll be right back. Give me one quick second. Ok, ¿afuera de dónde?